any matter that you need to raise, write it down, submit it at the back. The petition that is chaired by Honorable Mahlangu is here to deal with those matters. Can we have the chairperson back to finalize the item? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Skwakwa. Now, the issue of that was raised by the honorable member there. Honorable member there, Honorable Tsotit, brought a matter on the floor of SAIC. Of SAIC. I think SAIC, where we are, it's a responsibility of the legislature. I will lobby the House that the structure of SAIC needs to be resuscitated through the legislature, and we must put a time frame as to when should we resuscitate the issue of SAIC, so that all the issues of oversight and everything. He has said to us, SAIC does not exist. Now we need to resuscitate SAIC and bring it to the structures so that they can do oversight in some of the implementations of the resolutions that we have. Can we now have a second, person who will second? Honorable members, we were at an item of adopting reports. I need hands to second the adoption of the reports. No, I need hands that seeks to second the adoption of the reports. Honorable members,
honorable members, all right, order. Put your hands down so that we give in a meeting. Honorable members, we're also teaching you how a legislature operates. When a member is on the podium, when a member is on the podium, you allow that member to register. Once the presiding give the other member an opportunity, you are potentially bringing a threat to your own sitting. When you see us standing up, it's when your sitting is inviting threats. That is why it is our responsibility to make sure that we give guidance and we provide leadership. Please allow your presiding officer to preside. That's how a sitting works. It's not about how it does not make you a great leader. But raising your hand and allowed to be pointed, it indicates the superb and the high level of understanding of the sitting we are presiding over. I think I'm clear in that point. Presiding officer.
Thank you very much. This is what I'm going to do for the sake of progress. And I would have alluded to you that we don't have enough time. We still have other items to be rendered. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you each 1 minute to point a point of order, then we proceed. What's your point of order, honorable member?
Thank you very much. I'm a member of DA Matimukuna.
Order.
Chairperson, you seem to be abusing us. This is our event. You have to remember that. This is our event. It's about your podium issue you are standing at, Chairperson. Because someone is coming to address what we're talking about. Who is the chairperson? You are the chairperson. Let the guy stop addressing us. We want you on the podium, and when we call a point of order, please recognize us, Chair. This is our event. You are not just going to address as you used to. This is a youth parliament. Let the youth participate on this youth parliament and stop addressing whatever you're doing. You are not just here to address us. We are here as youth to address you, to make follow-up, That's why we say this thing is a youth parliament to make a follow-up on the government. Please.
Thank you very much, honorable member. The second speaker.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I believe as we are here today, Chair, you are the chairperson of the House, and you've mentioned when we're starting these commissions, the report of the commissions, you've mentioned that at the end, for each commission, you will allow 4 hands to make engagements per commission. And so far, you've only done that on 1 commission, and there are still other 2 commissions which are remaining, and of which we still need to make submission on Chair. So please give us the opportunity to make those 8 hands that are remaining. Give us the opportunity to raise those 8 hands. I think then it will be easy to adopt these resolutions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable member. I think maybe you were not in this house when I posed an honorable member there before he made discussions. I said to that honorable member that we are going to discuss all commissions due to the issue of time. So your order is not sustained, honorable member.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Finally, I've been raising my hand. Honorable Chairperson, I've been willing to can assist you. This is Mtokozi Sigwenya from the
Honorable member.
ANC Youth League.
Honorable member.
No, allow me. This is the problem,
Honorable
Chairperson.
member.
You must
Please,
wait.
Honorable member, please.
Okay.
Can you be an honorable member because this is an honorable house?
Yeah, but I'm assisting the
And
process.
the language, honorable member, the language being used, please, let's respect each other. Can you proceed?
Okay, no, but Chairperson, I'm assisting the process. Chairperson, we are being abused by members of the opposition. And ever since we have started with the proceedings of this...
Honorable member.
Sorry. Yeah, Chairperson, wait, Chair. The members of the opposition are being disruptive, Chairperson.
Honorable
And
member.
you haven't made any...
Honorable
sorry.
member.
No, but why do you cut them out?
Honorable member.
No, but we are being abused.
Honorable member. Honorable delegates.
Put me back.
Honorable
Chair.
delegates. In the legislature, we have the committee of youth, women with, and disability. We have agreed that we will give you, our beautiful delegates, an opportunity to send 1 delegate per political party to come and meet with the committee at the legislature on the dates that you will propose and sit down and register all your frustrations. Can we now proceed with the program, our beautiful honorable delegates, if we agree? But I had all delegates, which means we agree. Can we proceed?
No. But I was on the floor, Chair. Am I protected? I was on the floor. I was still talking. Because there are points that I want to make. And I raised my hand. You showed me. Am I protected,
Honorable
Chairperson?
member, it was us who said yesterday, we want the premier of the province to come here and address us. So we cannot direct the program when we still want the premier to come and address us, because that was the demand that you made yesterday, and we have fulfilled it. The premier of the province is here, so we must allow the premier of the province to come and address us. Maybe some of the issues that you raised in the commissions, the premier of the province will be here to answer them. So let us give the premier an opportunity to come and address us. So let us proceed with the program.
No, but... And I'm sacrificing. Am I
Since-
protected or not? No. No, but I was on the floor. No.
Oh, it's fine.
But we are bullied by the members of the opposition.
Honorable member,
No,
Honorable
I understand,
member.
but there are points that I wanted to make. Just because I said we are being bullied by members of the opposition, then now they cut me, I cannot make the points.
Can we now proceed? The honorable member there has already adopted the resolutions. Can I get a seconder? Honorable member, can you just bring the mic here? Thank you very much. The honorable member there is seconding. We are now moving with our program. Let me call upon the Speaker of the Provincial Legislature, Umama ULL Masina, to introduce our guest speaker as we move with our program.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Without wasting any further time, I know young people of Mpumalanga are so eager to hear what our guest speaker is going to say to you today, because here today I'm bringing you the former president of the ANC Youth League, who has served the 3 terms as the president, who has also been in government, serving as a minister for 3 consecutive times, when he was a Minister for Home Affairs, Minister of Public Enterprise, Minister for Finance. Was speaking of a young lion who grew up here in South Africa, whom you have been seeing for all the time. I think he's a man who is self-known, who does not need any introduction, because if I can introduce him, I may leave a lot of things behind. So I'm calling upon our guest speaker today, Knowledge Malusi Nkanyezi Gigaba, to address the Youth Parliament of 2025.
Honorable Mama, the Deputy Speaker, members of the legislature, the Executive Mayor and Councillors of Tembisile Hani, youth from different political parties and civil society present here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I must say I was humbled, Baba, to be welcomed by you and the Speaker earlier this afternoon. Now, I know I was supposed to have arrived early, but I'm sure young people will also appreciate that as a father, I also have youth at home. And my youngest son had a commitment at school this morning which I could not miss. So I had to honor that. And absolutely, present dads. Angifuni ngelinye ilanga umntanami athi, you served the country but you abandoned us. Kumele bazi ukuthi at all times by priority kithi. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincerest gratitude to the Honorable Speaker. This is the second time I have been invited to address the Mpumalanga Youth Parliament since the last time on 2011. On 10th June, I meant, on 10th June 2011. In just 9 days, the attention of our entire nation will be drawn towards the youth of our country, informed and towards the system of white supremacy and their unwavering faith in united action and the liberating power of education. The Soweto uprising was a watershed moment in the confrontation between the forces of freedom represented by the youth and the forces of evil represented by tyrants. They had an heroic and proud history to defend and a glorious future to fight for. It was clear during the 70s that an extraordinary effort was required to reinvigorate the struggle and re-inject our people with the courage to stand up to the regime in order to demonstrate that the regime was not as invincible as it thought itself to be, and that a people united in action could not be conquered. Because the National Liberation Movement was banned, its leadership were either in prison or on the run or in exile. The regime created a period of prolonged terror-imposed peace and stability, during which it could do as it pleased, ruling untrammeled over the rest of Southern Africa, destabilizing the frontline states, imposing terror all over our country, believing that the oppressed were on their own, petrified of the regime's ostensible might. Meanwhile, the youth were having none of that, but instead were growing restless and organizing themselves around issues of education. And like their predecessors in 1944, immersing themselves in ideas of a political and ideological nature that taught them never to cower to the tyrants. The honor fell on them, as it had on many occasions both before and after 1976, to bring this nightmare to an end. At this decisive moment, the youth did not decline the call to lay their hands on the ark of history and act in the best and most noble ways in the interests of their people and future generations. As their parents departed for work that cold morning, neither they nor their children knew that by sunset, their children would have turned the tide of the struggle and etched their names permanently on the collective memory of our nation. Again and again, history would impose an obligation on the youth that fought against it. It is important that we refuse to forget, lest we expose ourselves to the risk of repeating the errors of the past. We must continue to teach the youth about the supreme effort it took in commemorating the 49th anniversary of Soweto. We must remind ourselves that our people have suffered more than national humiliation. They were deprived of their due in the country's wealth. Their skills were suppressed. Poverty and starvation was their life's experience, and they have suffered crippling inequality as a result. The correction of these centuries-old economic injustices lies at the very core of our national aspirations, the motto which should inform the mission of the current generations of youth. Political freedom in our country can only have meaning if the wealth of the land, which includes the land itself and the mineral capabilities that would create sustainable jobs and a sustained growth in our economy. Instead of succumbing to the attraction of instant financial gratification and conspicuous consumption, the most enduring legacy your generation can create and bequeath the future will be to study and accumulate education, to work hard and create sustainable, and to wage a sustained offensive against poverty and inequality. Luckily, while the youth of 1976 had to commit to die for freedom, your generation only has to live for freedom and for the nation. Such commemorations, therefore, must be used to unite our people, to unite the youth, black and white, and to inculcate in them the courage steadfastly to pursue the goal of building a genuinely non-racial, non-sexist, democratic and prosperous society. Our history as well as our future must be occasions to unite and not divide us. These occasions allow us to focus our eyes on the nation and our youth. We must teach our youth what it means not only to build a democratic society, but to live in it. It requires that our youth must be the genuine representatives of the future. If they want democracy, they must demonstrate that democracy in how they interact with one another, and must be the microcosm of the future South Africa that we want. To build a free South Africa means that all of us must be willing to listen to one another, even if those who are on the podium say things we are opposed to and uncomfortable with. It requires that we must be willing to listen to the worth of what the person is saying and engage them on the basis of what they have said and not who has said what was said. This is what is required. Because if we must be democratic, it therefore means we must understand that we do not all believe the same things, we don't have the same ideas, and many times we will disagree with one another. From the leadership of our society to those who are led, there must be that commitment that we will be tolerant with and patient with one another, so that we are able to hear what others are saying, no matter how uncomfortable or discomforting the truths which they are speaking are, no matter how unhappy we may be with what they are saying. We need to acknowledge the reality that the future is not predetermined and that our collective actions can shape a better tomorrow. After all, the future is not an accident. As Kendrick Lamar so eloquently puts it, you gotta be able to smile at the past and not let it haunt you at the present. Today we smile at the past, but we acknowledge also the challenges that lie ahead. We face complex challenges, including the triple crisis of high unemployment, inequality and poverty, which are accompanied by the skills mismatch. The African Continental Free Trade Area presents opportunities for youth-led development, innovation and entrepreneurship. By harnessing the energy and enterprise of technology, we can build a better country, continent and the world. As well as harnessing the united action of the African continent to build potentially the biggest human natural capital and intellectual resources in the world, the African Continental Free Trade Area provides a unique opportunity to interact with potential global partners, policymakers, and business leaders to advance Africa's cause. But first and foremost, it presents an opportunity for the peoples of Africa to shake off the divisions of the past, the chains of colonialism, in order to build a united future for their youth. It requires our people to stop thinking as former colonies and different regions, but to start thinking as one people with a common past of colonial oppression and a common future of total emancipation. It requires our people to understand that decolonization has not been achieved, and that decolonization is not a slogan that we speak only when we occupy platforms, but it must be the program of action of every African country and all African people. Decolonization requires that we move beyond the achievement of political freedom and begin to lay our hands on the economies of our countries, to lay our hands on the means of production and the forces of production in our country, in our continent, so that we become masters of the forces of production and of the future of our continent. So we have to understand that all we have achieved until now is only political freedom, and that many of the countries of Africa, soon after political independence, fell into the clutches of neo-colonization, and that the colonial question, therefore, in Africa remains alive until such a time that we can say, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, all of the peoples of Africa are in charge of the productive assets of their continent and the forces of production thereof. And so the struggle to complete that is now in your hands. To benefit from innovation and ensure a brighter future, we must equip our children with the skills and knowledge required for the future economy. Coding, robotics, and entrepreneurship must be integral parts of the school curriculum. Digital disruption is a cornerstone of modern economies, and digital disruptors are redefining our landscape, representing a fundamental change in the way we live, work, and relate to one another. We must therefore harness the power of digital technologies to drive innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth to propel Africa's industrialization and economic diversification, as well as inclusion in the global economic and political institutions and systems of governance. The new technologies are also leading to increased efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery in the field of public sector and public administration. As we move into the future, governments must prepare to fully embrace digitalization of the work environment and the public service, and equip their workforce and youth in particular with the skills to cater for the changing economic dynamics influenced by the fourth industrial revolution. In light of the current geopolitical dynamics, we must also acknowledge the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on the global economy and the importance of fostering peace dialogues in countries such as Sudan, DRC, and regions such as the Great Lakes, the Sahel, as well as East Africa. Today we must say, hopefully as this youth parliament you will agree, that we stand with the people of Palestine and we stand with the people of Western Sahara. No country in Africa must continue to be colonized by another African country. Morocco must let go of Western Sahara to allow the people of Western Sahara to determine their own destiny. Israel must let go of the people of Palestine and allow the Palestinians to determine their own destiny themselves. The global humanity will stand accused by future generations for allowing a genocide to take place in front of our own eyes, for allowing a televised genocide to happen, a complete extermination of a people without intervening when we had the power and the resources with which to intervene. The speeches must end. The UN Security Council must realize that no matter how much Israel attacks the people of Palestine, they will not go away. In actual fact, the ongoing conflict in Palestine threatens peace and stability in the Middle East, and it threatens peace and stability for the Israeli people themselves. The people of Palestine also deserve peace, and we must continue to express our solidarity, our unwavering solidarity with the people of Palestine without condition, without any condition. We must say that as South Africa, we will forever side with the people of Palestine as we continue to identify ourselves with those anywhere in the world who are oppressed, who are colonized, who are victims of injustice. Sub-Saharan Africa has been central in driving economic recovery and growth since the 2008 global economic meltdown. As a nation, we must continue to promote peace, stability and cooperation, as well as reconstruction and development, both within our borders and beyond, mainly as part of the process to complete the outstanding decolonization of the continent. South Africa must never abandon its commitment to the African agenda and the creation of a new and better world order. The youth of South Africa must prepare themselves for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. After all, as we have said, the future is not an accident. Youth must harness the power of innovation, entrepreneurship and technology to drive economic growth and development. This requires a fundamental shift in your mindset, a willingness to challenge the status quo, and a commitment to pushing the boundaries. You must bear in mind that militancy, radicalism, and revolution are not the things you do inside the venues of meetings, but it is what you do in your communities to challenge the status quo, to push back against the frontiers of poverty, inequality, and underdevelopment in order to expand the frontiers of inclusive growth and sustained development for all. As Ben Okri eloquently puts it, the question is, will you be at the harvest among the gatherers of new fruit? Then you must begin today to remake your mental and spiritual world. We must remake our world by challenging the dominant narratives, questioning the existing power structures, and creating new pathways for development. Steve Biko would have said the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Of course, those who believe in historical materialism would add and say that the oppressed need first and foremost to conquer power and to own the means of production and to use that economic base in order to change the superstructure. We therefore have to say there is no contradiction between the two. It is your responsibility now. The generations that came before you could only do so much to bring South Africa to where it is today. But the journey forward into the future now lies in your hands. You therefore have to remake your material and spiritual world so that you are able to conquer the arc of history, to bend it to your needs, to your vision, in accordance with the mission which you have for the future of our people. The G20 provides a platform for us to engage with global leaders and shape the global agenda. Agenda 2063 of the African Union provides a visionary framework for development, underscoring the imperative to involve youth in shaping global agenda policies. We must leverage these opportunities to promote our interests, advance our priorities, and build a more equitable and prosperous world. We must ensure as South Africa that in these and all other global platforms in which we participate, including BRICS, we always put at the top of our agenda the agenda of the African continent and the African people. Remembering that Africa gave her all for our freedom, paid a heavy price for us to be where we are today. We owe it to the people of Maseru, we owe it to the people of Gaborone, we owe it to the people of Zimbabwe, we owe it to the people of Zambia to ensure that every opportunity we get, we speak of the interests of the African people as much as we speak of the interests of the people of South Africa. Because South Africa without Africa can never develop. We can never grow, develop, and be at peace as an island. We need our continent as a whole to grow, to develop, and also to be at peace. We must strengthen BRICS, which provides a platform for emerging economies to promote economic cooperation and development. By working together, we can build a more just and equitable world where the benefits of globalization are shared by all. As we move forward, we must prioritize youth participation, social inclusion, and sustainable development. A glimpse of the discussions you've just had, robust as they were, indicate a young people that do not want to be spoken for. You want to be involved, to shape the future yourselves. You must never believe that the youth are simply the future, and therefore you must sit back as young people and wait until the future shall come. You must be involved now in shaping that future, because when it shall come, it must bear your imprint. It must be as in accordance to your own vision. This requires a coordinated effort from youth organizations, from government, the private sector, civil society, and international organizations. This is a call to action. Let us work together to build a brighter future for all, where young people can shape global policies and drive development. The future is ours to shape. Let us rise to the challenge and create a better world for all.
Item where we'll invite the Honorable Premier of our beautiful province, Mr. MP Ndlovu, to come and address us. Can we please stand and clap our hands for our Honorable Premier?
Program Director, thanks for this opportunity. A brother or any person that is fully gratified but leaves others ungratified is a brutal being, if not brutal, is simple ignorant for the harm that he is doing. I am very happy that you did not change your chamber into a circus. There was diversity in the council, and we are happy that there will be unity in command. I'm fully gratified that today I am addressing the representatives of the 64% of the young minds of Mpumalanga. The population of the province is becoming younger. Greetings to you, young lions, on your special day, the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, members of the legislature, the Secretary of the legislature, and all technocrats that are here, President of the Young Lions, Comrade Malusi Gigaba. One can see that once a youth, always a youth. I'm not going to take much of your time, because when I was invited to come and address you here, they said to me that Comrade Mandla, you will be just making some few remarks. You will not be addressing. If they wanted me to address you, they should not have turned the world upside down. I should have addressed you yesterday, so that most of the issues that I was going to share with you should have been part of your commissions. Former United States of America President Barack Obama declared the youth as the future of our nation and said it is their responsibility to actively participate in politics. They have to participate to find solutions to the problems that are affecting them. They should not rely on the eldership, because one day you will wake up and realize that the problems that we have were caused by the very same eldership. Wake up and build your inheritance. Our very own former president, Utata Mandela, said, youth is the backbone of the nation. If you have youth, you have the future. I know what you said yesterday, that you are not the future. We must stop to sell you hope, because you want a better life today and not tomorrow. You can see that we are living a better life today and we are selling you hope. I fully concur with you. Our last youth parliament sitting was on the 2022. We did not give ourselves an opportunity for 2 years, not 4 years, for 2 years to track the implementation of our own resolutions to succeed. Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other. We are here today to implement House resolution emanating from the 2022 Youth Parliament. I'm not going to brood over the past, because already these resolutions form part of the new resolutions that you have adopted. I concur with you when you said that there are no new resolutions that we are taking in meetings. In the main, we are recycling resolutions that have been taken. We once tracked all the resolutions that we have taken as an organization since 1991 on our first conference, and we realized that in all our gatherings today, we are recycling decisions that we have taken as an organization. So today I want to declare that your resolutions are going to be implemented by this government. The Youth Development Fund program in the office of the Premier should be led by a young lion. That was the resolution that was taken in 2022 and is still your resolution today. Yes, this resolution is going to be implemented by our government. Office of the Premier must ensure that the 30% of government procurement opportunities are set aside for young people. Again, let me declare in front of you without biting my tongue, without twanging my words, that also this resolution is going to be implemented here in Mpumalanga. Office must ensure that the Youth Development Fund is equitably distributed to the 3 districts in the province. This is the resolution that was taken today, but you were repeating this resolution that we took 2 years or 3 years ago in your youth parliament. This resolution also is going to be implemented here in Mpumalanga. Office of the Premier must ensure that the National Youth Development Agency have offices in all the local municipalities. Mpumalanga is the only province in the whole country with fully fledged National Youth Development Agency offices in every district. The agency is currently working closely with all the youth units in all our local municipalities to ensure access and pre-investment support services to the youth. So also here we must indicate that we'll be embarking on a process of implementing this decision. It will be a process. We will not implement this decision today, but you must know that we are going to consider so deeply this resolution. Furthermore, NIDA is also working very close with the 53 youth development centers through a partnership with Department of Social Development to ensure that youth from all parts of the province effectively participate in the business management training and grant programs. Office of the Premier must do away with tender systems to allow creation of job opportunities for the youth. This is your resolution. This is your resolution. Will engage with the National Treasury. This falls directly under the mandate of the National Treasury, and thus the Office of the Premier does not have jurisdiction on this recommendation. However, there are so many programs that our government is implementing in an effort to enable the youth to create job opportunities for themselves. We encourage our youth in the past that you should not follow the education for the servitude that you must have to wake up and stand on your two. You must stop to amble, stand on your two, and work and create jobs for yourself. We have this special program, the Youth Challenge Fund, that is a start-up support program intended to stimulate the establishment and growth of youth-owned business, promote digital skills. Its eligibility criteria are: you must be below 35 years, you must SARS compliance, 100% South African owned, feasibility business idea, please position yourself in order to benefit. NSFAS challenge. Currently, in the province, we have got close to 500 students that are left frustrated by NSFAS for failing to settle their debts. Some are forced to abandon their studies altogether. We have started to engage with student formation. We are paying special attention on this problem. Youth unemployment. South Africa's youth make up roughly 33.1% of the entire population. South Africa, like many countries, global grapples with the challenge of youth unemployment, with statistics indicating a 45.5% unemployment rate among the youth aged 15 to 34 years, in contrast to the national unemployment rate average of 32.9% in the first quarter of 2025. Here in Mpumalanga, youth unemployment stands at 46.4%, one of the highest in the country, which is what keeps me awake at night as your premier. As if this challenge is not enough, we also have a report telling us that we have the second least skilled youth in the country after Northern Cape. This is a serious challenge. This is a serious problem. But it tells us that abantwana bethu kufuneka babuyele esikolweni. All of us, we need to do something together with you, our youth, to change this situation. Unemployed youth graduates in Mpumalanga in 2022 were at 19%. We improved to 9% in 2024. And today, we are at 13% of youth graduates that are unemployed. We are reskilling these graduates to be absorbed by our industries. The target for this MTDP is to have less than 5% unemployed youth graduate by 2029. I know that you will ask me, why 5%? Why don't you aim to zero-rise these youth graduates that are unemployed? On our way to 0% in 2029, we are targeting 5%. You know your program on Fortune 40. We are implementing this incubator program. Mining coexist with just energy transition. Mining coexist with just energy transition. It's not either or. Mining coexist with just energy transition. There are opportunities that are available in abundance for our youth in this sector. We'll want you to take an advantage. We are also going to reskill the youth in order to position you for this program. National Youth Service, we know that 250 youth are currently employed for 18 months. This initiative is also aimed at training young people in general building and maintenance. Department of Public Works advertises this program annually. Crime prevention wardens, out of 1,200 crime prevention wardens employed by our government, 725 of them are youth. You also have a special program on basic education employment initiative. From last month, we have started to recruit 13,422 educator assistants that are placed in our schools across the province. We have also employed 4,008 general school assistants. All these programs and opportunities are available in all our departments. I urge you to visit our departments and inquire about these opportunities so that you will be able to position yourself. I indicated that I'm not going to take much of your time, but I want to urge you, the youth of this province, that you must unite and inherit your father's estate. You are your brother's keeper. Nigerian novelist and poet Chinua Achebe said, he is a fool who treats his brother worse than a stranger, because when the two brothers fight to death, a stranger inherits their father's estate. The youth of our province, please unite and inherit your father's estate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. I've said it, our delegates, that we must allow the Premier to speak. Maybe some of the issues or some of the points that you have raised in our commissions may be answered when the Premier takes the podium. And I also want to say this, Honorable Delegates, that when we were dealing with messages of support, when we called upon every representative of the political parties, we were clapping our hands, all of us, besi suguma, when we were asked to stand up. So I was not happy to see that, Honorable Delegates, when the Premier of the province was ascending the stage, some of the political parties' representatives were sitting down. I don't know what was the reason. However, whether siyamthanda or amsimthandi, he is the Premier of our province. So let us now move to item number 11, which is the way forward that will, sorry, can we just proceed with our program? Let us now call upon the stage the Deputy Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, Mr. S. Masang.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ngonyani, and good afternoon to all honorable guests and honorable members present here, the Honorable Premier, honorable MECs, and all honorable members, and to our Honorable Chairperson of Portfolio Committee on Defense, Honorable Malusi Kikaba, we appreciate your presence. Thank you very much to grace this occasion. Honorable Chairperson, I take this opportunity to greet also this afternoon on our way forward from the municipality, the dedications of deployments that they've came here since yesterday, Honorable Premier, from Tembisila and local municipality, to ensure that all systems of this particular sitting does find accolades. We appreciate, can we give a big round of applause there? We equally, on the same breath, give all departments that have given representative to present to this particular sitting to ensure that young people of this province does receive their information which is due to them. Let's give a big round of applause to them. On the way forward as well, we give thanks to the members and employees of the legislature for an outstanding work of coordinating and ensuring that the breadth and length of our province is present here. The present, which is the youth of Mpumalanga, is here. Let's give a big round of applause to all our officials for a great outstanding work. Honorable Speaker, it is a great pleasure for me to provide the closing remarks and a way forward to this special session of the Youth Parliament 2025. We are pleased with the success of deliberation, robust assertiveness of young people to key number of issues that they have raised today. We have been observing since yesterday, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Premier, the zeal, the willingness to change and champion the province into a greater agency that we do have young people in this province, Premier, I can tell you, who are ready to take over. We express our appreciation to all the presenters from department and participant in commission who made a huge contribution yesterday and in today's sessions. We acknowledge the issues that have been raised and the recommendation registered by this sitting. As a way forward, the youth who have registered business are encouraged to register on the database of all government departments as well as the legislature in order to be considered for business opportunities. That's number one. Number two, a committee on portfolio on public participation and petition and members' legislation proposal, which will be responsible for tracking progress and providing feedback. And in addition, the Select Committee on Portfolio of Women, Youth, and People with Disability will be also part of it in terms of the special resolution that all parties need to be invited, represented, in accordance to make sure that these resolutions don't fall into the tracks. Number three, the reports will be segmented per department and there will be follow-ups through the legislation systems. Number four, the issues of TVET colleges and the skills development will be prioritized and feedback will be provided accordingly. As we conclude this session, let us all be reminded that we are all responsible for making contributions, strive in order to improve the conditions and lives of our community, more especially youth in our province. Honorable Speaker, it is a great honor for us as this seventh administration to have this particular meeting with the young people of this province. We are so grateful on behalf of the entire honorable members of legislature to see that young people whom they are here, who assertively indicated and engaged that they are ready to go and mobilize all young people to register to vote in preparation and in sustaining the government, because this government, its equivalence around the elections. If young people of this province go all out, all of them, structural in all different fronts of formation, to register, and we mobilize all of them to register to ensure that the democracy of this country is sustained. The vote, it's what gave the breakthrough in all our life. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. This is our last item on our program. And after this one, I will call upon Mr. Jabu Mtimunye to do the announcement for us. Let me now call upon the stage Honorable M.N. Mhlongo, who will do the vote of thanks on behalf of you beautiful delegates of the Mpumalanga province. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Honorable Nkonyane. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge our Honorable Speaker, our Honorable Premier, our Honorable Deputy Speaker, our guest speaker, Honorable Kigaba, our Honorable MECs, Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature of Mpumalanga, our different departments, delegates, distinguished guests, and the powerful delegation of young people. It is both privilege and an honor to stand before you today as a young person and the youngest member of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. This moment is more than a symbolic, it is a powerful affirmation that young people have a place, a voice, and a responsibility in shaping democracy. Allow me to extend heartfelt thanks to the Honorable Speaker and the leadership of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature for hosting this impactful youth parliament. Your continued commitment to the youth participation is deeply appreciated, Honorable Speaker. To Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable MECs, and Honorable members present, your presence and support speaks volume. Thank you for choosing to walk this journey with us. I want to also express special gratitude to the Honorable Premier for gracing this event and for your inspiration remarks. Your words reminded us of the importance of leadership that listens, empowers, and leads with purpose. We are also grateful for the keynote address which sets the tone for today's conversations, a powerful call to action that challenge us to rise and participate and lead with integrity. To our commissioners and our reporters, thank you for your tireless work in unpacking key issues, facilitating meaningful dialogues, and presenting insightful reports. Your contributions have added a great value to the outcomes of this program. And to the organizing team, thank you for excellent coordination and dedication behind the scenes, ensuring that every detail of today was well executed. And finally, to my fellow young people, thank you for showing up, for engaging with courage and confidence, and for proving that the youth of Mpumalanga is ready to lead, not just in the future, but today. Let us live here inspired, connected, and committed. The journey doesn't end here, it begins anew with each of us. I thank you.
Greetings everyone, the leadership of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature present here, the Premier, our guest speaker, Ubabo Kigaba. Colleagues, I'm just to do an announcement, a simple one. And the leadership in front here will take my right once we are done. Sorry, my left-hand hand. They will go where they were briefed to debrief themselves. And then all of us, my right-hand side, the last door, I know it's open, and the front door, it's also open. There'll be 2 saving points where we are